Welcome to another video of Discord.py, Postgresql and Asyncpg series. In this particular video, I will teach you that how you can actually do CURD operations with Postgresql and Asyncpg with your Discord bot. Guys, if you are new to this series, let me tell you, I have already created part 1, and in part 1 I have explained that how you can actually make the connection between your PostgreSQL and Discord bot using Asyncpg library. As you can see this code, I have explained all this code in part 1. So if you have not watched it, go and check the playlist link given in the description. Let's come to point. So in this video, we will see that how you can actually create tables, how you can create schemas of your database in a very organized way. To be honest guys, in a very organized way. You don't need to actually mess with your code. You don't need to create too much SQL schemas on your Python folder. We will create separate SQL files for our schemas. Okay, also, we will see that how you can use the database in your cogs file to perform CURD operations. Let's start. So as you can see, we have all these connections. We have connections between our PostgreSQL and our Discord bot. Okay, so let's create a file called schemas, and in that particular file we will create our SQL schemas. Okay, so let's create a file called sql slash schemas schemas.sql. Okay, so why I'm doing this, guys? Let me explain you why I'm doing this. As you guys can see, we have created a file called SQL. That means this folder hold all the files related to your PostgreSQL, related to your database. You can create different files for different schemas, but we will create all the schemas in this particular file also. Guys, in future I will make a video on how to create a economy system using PostgreSQL, but in this video we will just see the tutorial that how to do CURD operations with your database using Asyncpg library. Let's create our first schema. So to create a schema, we need to write this code: create table if not exist, and we will name the table called user or users. Then we will start our parentheses. Now we want to create a field called user id. Our user id will be big int data type, so big int. Then this will be our primary key, so let's make this primary key. That's it. Now we also want to store the username, so we will just write name, and this will be our text data type. Okay, also we want to store the age of this particular user, and the age will be int. Okay, now we also want to store the guild. Okay, so I actually want to store the guild in a JSON format. What does that mean? Like, I want to store a JSON, and in that particular JSON, if I just load the JSON, then I just want the guild name and guild ID. Okay, so we will name it guild info. And if you want to store the JSON in PostgreSQL using Asyncpg, you just need to write JSONB. So this is the data type. Okay, let's close our schema using this semicolon. Okay, we have successfully created our first schema. You can actually create your all the schema like this. Okay, but please don't repeat this. You can create for the schemas using this syntax. Let's close this and let's create a function that execute this file each time whenever you start your bot. Also we have included this logic, as you can see, uh, create table if not exist. So this will create the table if the table is not exist in your database. Okay, so let's go in the bot.py file and create a function called asyncdef setuphook. This setuphook function is default provided by discord.py bot class. So let's create this, and here we will acquire the connection first. Async with self.db.acquire as con. Con stands for connection. Then we want to open the file. Okay, so we will use the Pythonic way to open the file. We will use with open sql slash schemas.sql. Then we want to open the file in read mode because we just read the text as sql. Now we want to execute all the schemas, okay, which we have uh, wrote in the particular file. So await con dot execute the sql dot read. Okay, read sql dot read. Okay, so we have created our executor successfully. Let's run our bot and see that if this is actually working or not. Let's run this. Okay, so we have run. Let's see. Okay, okay, okay guys, as you can see we have successfully logged in. The message is pop up, and I guess our schema will created in our database. Let's see. As you can see guys, our schema is successfully created in our database. We have put our user id, we have put name which is data type of text, we have put age which is int4, basically int data type, and we also have guild information which is in JSONB. As you can see guys, I have created this four commands. Okay, create, update, read, delete, curd. Okay, so with this four command we will do curd operations. Okay, so as you can see we have a JSON data type also. So we need to use a parser, so we will use JSON. Okay, JSON module. So let's import that module. It's a inbuilt module, so you don't need to install this. By pip it will inbuilt. Okay, so let's actually do our first operation, which is create. Okay, what is mean by create? We already have created our schema, but we have not created any row. What is row? Row means each row, each user will be exist. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see the practical actually. As you can see we have user id, name, age, and guild info. So to do this, first we will do is await self dot bot dot db dot execute. In the execute function, what we will do is insert into users. Let's see what's the name is. Okay, so insert into users. What we want to insert? We want to insert user id, then name, then age, then guild info. Okay, let's see. user ID, name, age, guild info. Okay, please use the correct name. Now we need to provide the values. Okay, values index. So values values will be $1 for the user ID, $2 for the name, $3 for the age, and $4 for the guild info. Now we need to pass all this value. Okay, you can actually pass this value using an f string, but it's not a recommended way because there is so many if you will do that, so you will face so many bugs, okay, in your database. So please don't do that. So let's first pass our user id. So ctx.author.id. Now we need to pass the name. So ctx.author.name. Now let's pass the age. So let's do 17. I'm 17, so I pass the 17. Now, as you can see, we have the guild info. So okay, we will pass, because this is a JSON-B data type, we need to pass a JSON here. So just do JSON.dumps, and the object will be string. Okay, not string, basically this will be dict. Okay, dict object. So I want here id will be ctx dot guild dot id, and also I need the guild name. So name will be ctx dot name. Okay, now we need to confirm that we actually have inserted something. So we will use await ctx dot send inserted successfully. So okay guys, I am in my Discord. Let's run the command called create. Okay, I've run, and as you can see, uh, inserted successfully. Let's see the database. Okay, we need to refresh this. So let's just refresh it. After refreshing, you will see that we have our data here. Okay, so as you can see guys, we have our id, we have our name, we have our age, and we have our guild info. Okay, as you can see, we have our guild info. Let's actually update this data. I want to update the uh, age, and I want to update the name with Prenoy updated. Okay, so let's actually do this. So to update, you need to use the same function called execute. So just to do await self dot bot dot db dot execute, and we need to provide a query. So the query will be update users set. What we want to set? We want to set the name and the age. So name will be $1, age will be $2. Don't forget to give a is equal to here. Okay, now we need to provide the value. So our name will be, as you can see, we have our name Prenoy in database. So I will also write Prenoy updated. Now I will give my age. So I want to increase my age 18, so I will provide 18. Also guys, uh, if you have already seen in the database, we have inserted a primary key which is called user id. So in that case, I only want to update my data where I have my own user id. So I will use where user id is equal to $3. So now I need to provide the user ID called ctx.author.id. Let's see what we have done. Update users. That mean I said Asyncpg to update users. Then I have said that set the name is equal to $1 and the $1 will be replaced with this value. Then I have said age is equal to $2 and the $2 will be replaced with 18. And then I have said where user ID is equal to $3 and the $3 will be replaced with ctx.author.id. But you can also directly provide all this information in this particular query string. But why this is not recommended? Because if, as you can see, we have inserted our guild id, sorry, we have inserted our author id, it mean user id, in big int data type, and the query string is a string data type. So Asyncpg will try to insert this in a string, in a text data type. So then Asyncpg will also give you an error that you are not inserting a proper data type in a proper field. So always prefer to use this type of syntax. First provide the query and then provide the values. Okay, let's use a toast message or a confirmation message that updated updated successfully. Let's actually execute this command. Update. So I have forgot to run the bot, so let's run the bot. Okay, we have run the bot. Now let's execute the command again. Update. And you can see we have this message, update successfully. Let's see our database, what we have updated. Let's wait. And as you can see, we have updated our age with 18 and we have updated our name also. Now let's fetch the particular data with our own user ID. So to do that task, you can also you should use the fetch function which is provided by Asyncpg. Let's do it. So let's use a cursor variable cur. So cursor is equal to await self dot bot dot db dot fetch row. This will only retrieve the first row with the matched logic. Okay, so let's actually use the fetch row. So select star from users where user id is equal to $1. Now we need to provide the user id. So ctx dot author dot id. As you can see, I have provided the ctx.author.id. Okay, so that's it for the cursor. So we will just use await ctx.send and let's use a string, and data, we will use a f string for this, and the data will be here. Okay, so you can directly see the data. Okay, and that's it. Let's run this and see. This will take some time to start. Let's go in our Discord and run the command read and see. As you can see, we got the data. Okay, so now you will say, how can I get this data in a normal format? Like, I just want the name. How can I get that? This method. Okay, so name, and let's restart this. Now we will use read again. As you can see, we have only got the name. Okay, so I guess you understand. Okay, let's actually delete the data. So to delete the data, you can use delete from. Okay, so await self dot bot dot db dot execute delete from users where user id is equal to $1, and we will provide the user id dot id. Okay, and let's actually use a confirmation message to confirm that we have actually deleted our data. Okay, let's run the command. Okay, so we got the confirmation message. Let's see what we have deleted or not. So as you can see, we have successfully deleted our data. I guess guys, you have understand that how to actually use the PostgreSQL with your Discord bot. I know guys, you have so many doubts and so many questions regarding PostgreSQL, because I have not actually teach you about the data type, about the query string. But to be honest guys, this video is only related to discord.py and asyncpg. I cannot teach you the whole PostgreSQL database because it's not actually my context, and it's not actually related to discord.py. Okay, so that's why guys. But yes, if you actually want to learn PostgreSQL, you can prefer their documentation, or you will get so many courses on PostgreSQL, free courses on PostgreSQL, which is freely available in YouTube or Udemy. Okay, so guys, that's it for this video. If you have any doubt regarding PostgreSQL or Asyncpg or Discord.py or any things related to Discord.py, you can join my server and you can directly ping me on general chat. I will definitely give you a reply, and I will definitely try to give you a solution. Okay, so thanks